We're in conversation with Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav. It's been a very newsy 2 weeks, everything from semiconductor to telecom to AI. Let me begin with what the ministry announced yesterday with respect to spectrum auctions, which is set to begin very soon. What sort of demand do you expect from the spectrum auctions?
See, in 21, when we rolled out the telecom reforms, one of the key component of those reforms was annual auction calendar. Annual auction calendar is very important because once you have annual auction calendar, then the telecom service providers can plan their requirement, they can plan their procurement and their expansion plans in a very methodical way. So last auction was done in the financial year 22-23. This is the auction for financial year 23-24, and this process is going to continue. We will see demand for renewable, basically the companies which want to renew their spectrum, and also some demand for people who want to fill in some of the gaps they had in the spectrum. Some of the spectrum which was lying tied up in the NCLT companies, that has also got expired, so that also becomes available. So the more spectrum telecom service providers have, better will be the quality of service.
Right. Can we also expect the government to pare its stake in Vodafone Idea? Your comments also on Vodafone India's fundraise and its future in telecom, Indian telecom?
We would like to support every fundraise program that Vodafone Idea wants to take up. See, it's a listed company. I don't want to comment on its future or anything. What's important is that from the government perspective, we have done everything that is possible to do.
Right. Can you also give us an update on component PLI, sir? When is it likely? How are you also addressing the concerns of Chinese players who seem to have a big share in the component ecosystem?
See, the component ecosystem is now growing very rapidly in our country because once the final product is there, everything else starts flowing in. In the coming 2 to 3 years, you'll see a significant improvement in the component ecosystem. We are restructuring our programs to make electronics manufacturing a major, big economic activity in our country. As you would have seen, entire digital ecosystem, whether it is telecom, whether it is semiconductor, whether it is AI, whether it is getting the entire regulatory framework in place, every dimension of the digital world is getting put in place in a very methodical way. So component, of course, is a natural part of it. So in the next term of Prime Minister Modi ji's government, we'll be focusing on making manufacturing as a very, very comprehensive and a very large economy in India.
Right. So we're also talking just 2 days after you announced a very ambitious AI mission, 10,000 472 crore, 10,000 GPUs. Yesterday, METI Secretary Mr. Krishnan said that the GPUs will come in about 18 to 24 months. Can you give us a timeline? Is there a way to speed this up? Are you in talks with players like in NVIDIA?
Yes, we are in discussion with players like NVIDIA. They have committed that they will be supporting our AI mission in a very big way, very major way. We are working in parallel on two things. One, if you look at the entire structure, whether it is UPI or whether it is AI mission or the telecom stack, practically everywhere our Prime Minister's focus is on democratizing technology. So we are working in parallel on multiple things. In the AI mission, our focus is we create a common compute facility which is available both to the innovators, to the researchers, to students, people who want to build new models, as well as people who want to get the inference out of the existing models. With that, we hope that we will be able to create a very robust AI ecosystem, and our focus will be on creating solutions which are relevant for our country. Our focus will be on healthcare, focus will be on agriculture, focus will be on weather forecasting, focus will be on logistics, focus will be on things which really make a big difference in our people's lives. One. Two, in parallel, we are working on creating the educational background, like in the semicon, like in telecom. In telecom, you saw 100 5G labs,
Yeah.
right? They are spread across the country. 6G test bed, 5G test beds, right? Not just one but multiple. So in a sense, we created an ecosystem where lots of people can innovate. Same is the case of Semicon. Semicon, we have done a partnership with 104 universities. Exactly same structure we want to do in AI. Second, we want to create the course curriculums which are tailored for the digital world. For example, in case of telecom, we worked with AICT and created a course curriculum which is tailored for the 5G and 6G world, 4G, 5G, 6G world. In case of Semicon, we created course curriculum which is tailored for getting our students prepared for the current generation of semiconductor. Same thing we'll do in case of AI. We'll tailor the course curriculums and support the BTech, MTech and PhDs in cutting edge AI technologies. Gone are those days 30, 40 years back when something used to happen in the developed world, right? And India would catch up after many years. In today's Modi ji's vision, very clearly we should be at par with the world and we should actually innovate, and the world should then look at us as the leader, like what's happening in telecom today, correct? So that is the approach everywhere.
Right. Final a few questions, sir. The AI advisory, that was sent by METI has also raised concerns on, whether we are pushing back on innovation, not just from Indian AI startups, but globally as well. The ministry.
So that was actually very simple. We have seen some of the large social media intermediaries and platforms which have rolled out AI systems without testing them, correct? And the impact of such AI systems without testing them, if they roll out, the impact on our democracy is huge. We have a responsibility towards our society. We cannot let such AI models be brought into public domain without proper testing. That was the purpose. The purpose is not to prevent the startups from innovating. Right? So that's absolutely clear. I think I've clarified on record, and this is something which is absolutely clear in our mind. If such large companies roll out their AI systems without testing, then it's unfair.
Right. Final question, sir. You also played a crucial role in bringing about a truce of sorts between Google and Indian apps. What do you think can be a more permanent solution? Will the upcoming digital competition law, for instance, help? Because if you look at the EU, if you look at the FTC, they've taken very stringent actions against some of these big techs.
See, ultimately, the startup ecosystem, and especially the people who have created so much value in our society, in our economy, in our people's lives, creating such innovative solutions, they have to be protected. They have to be supported. So I'm so glad that Google has kind of agreed on our request, and both the sites are now, they are meeting regularly. We created a forum in which the startups and Google, both of them can kind of interact and come out with a suggestion. So hopefully in a few weeks or whatever number of weeks they would like to take. I was told that they'll require about 7-8 weeks to come up with a common solution. Once they arrive at a common solution, we'll have a discussion jointly and then come out with the next steps.
Right. Last question on the chip incentive scheme. So I think out of the 79 crore sanctioned, 76,000 crore, 3/4 of that has gone to the 4 projects that have been approved. Will you look at expanding the chip incentive fund, sir?
Our semiconductor program is for 20 years. It's not just for 2 years or 3 years. Our Prime Minister has very clearly mandated us to prepare a roadmap for 20 years. The first successes that we have had have practically changed the worldview about India, correct? Now, on the design ecosystem, we need to put significant more focus in the second version of Semicon. Second version of Semicon will basically focus on getting at least 10 chipsets, which are full products, which are full solutions, and taking those solutions and taking them down the value chain of manufacturing and ATMP, fab and ATMP. That will be a large focus in the second version of the Semicon. Yes, more funds will be required because a long-term program like this will require. And we'll also work with the semicon industry, with the semiconductor industry participants, to see, based on our current experience, what else we need to do to significantly improve the ecosystem. Today I'll be, for example, I'll go to Applied Materials place where we will start the equipment manufacturing, the validation part of it, right? So we will also focus on the other key parts of the ecosystem, which is the equipment which go into manufacturing of semiconductors, in design of clean rooms, design of the complete semiconductor facility. I met with 3 companies who are very big leaders in this, and they are all willing to be a part of the India semiconductor mission. Third will be a large focus on getting all the other 16,000 odd things which go into running a fab, the gases and chemicals. They have come on their own. Many of the companies have started setting up their plants now already. But how do we scale up that to a larger level? So it's a very, very comprehensive journey, and I am very sure that with the Prime Minister's very clear focus on making India a leader in semiconductor, leader in AI, leader in telecom, leader in digital, all these things will become reality.
Thank you very much, sir, for talking to Money Control. Thank you for that interview, sir.